You can predict compatibility in your romantic relationships by tracking simple people patterns. Successful companies turn patterns into possibilities all the time. Amazon, for example, uses patterns to suggest things you didn't know that you needed. True story. I'm shopping for shoes on Amazon. I add Nike running shoes to my cart, and then immediately Amazon suggests Cliff energy bars, in spandex, and a water bottle. By analyzing millions of patterns, Amazon already knows that I'm more likely to buy those items. They anticipate it and they bring it right to me. You could be like Amazon and be proactive about what your relationship might need down the road. You don't need big data. All you need is a few simple patterns. Whether you've been dating someone for a long time or just lucky enough to have met someone online, it's up to you to see how compatible you are. And that could take time that you don't have. I mean, the last thing that you want to do is spend months or years rooting around in a relationship only to conclude that you and your partner are terrible together. Using simple patterns, it'll give you a more accurate account of your partner's character. So when you get into a relationship with them, you'll know how compatible you are. Here's how using simple patterns can help reveal more about your partner's character. You'll need a few things to get started. First, a little life experience. Second, ability to observe. Third, ask some questions. I'll share my experiences. Over the last 10 years, I've had three serious relationships. Each one was more dramatic and volatile than the next. I mean, screaming, door slamming, dishes flying everywhere, crying, name calling, the works. It was terrible for me and my partners. I will never, ever have a relationship like that again because I know these simple patterns and I can see that one from a mile away. Which brings me to step two, the ability to observe behaviors. You're looking for two things, family characteristics and your own relationship dynamic. By examining the parents, you can clearly see your partner's character because our parents teach us how to behave, how to fight, how to connect. Our parents, if their parents don't hug each other or constantly fighting, or if they're not talking about their feelings, your relationship will more than likely look like that too. An example from my experience, each of my partners had things that were in common for each of their families. They all had chaotic relationships with their mothers. They all had a daddy will do anything for me no matter what relationship. And in their teens, they ran away from home. They brought that relationship style from their childhood home into our relationship. The second thing that you want to observe is the occurrence of the same fight in multiple relationships. In my case, it was setting boundaries. Saying no to spending time with them started some of our biggest and most explosive fights. If you're constantly fighting about one issue with your partners, that's a deal breaker. You want to clearly explain what that is and tell them how important it is to you. Finally, step three, we're going to ask questions. You'll ask questions about the information that you got from the previous step. You want to know what their family pattern is, and you want to know how they'll react to your deal breaker. It'll be a little awkward to ask about family life depending on how long you've known each other, but you can make a game of it or share your family or share a little bit about your family, or you could ask the question. Next, you want to talk about your deal breaker. For me, it was the boundaries. So I would ask, how do you feel about me occasionally spending time with my friends without you? If they say cool, in the near future, I'll plan something. If not, it's a red flag. They have to go. So those few questions will give you a peek into the future of your relationship with your partner. If you like what you see, keep it. If not, throw that fish right back in the sea. Cast another line. In conclusion, if you want to gain insight into your partner's character, the best way is to notice and track patterns of behavior. Do that with three simple steps. Examine, observe, ask. I hope this presentation got you thinking. Learn a few simple patterns, create a whole new possibility.